The South Carolina women's basketball team will play again this weekend against Auburn, but there will be a special celebration beforehand. A'ja Wilson will have her jersey retired at Colonial Life Arena on Sunday, and South Carolina is literally giving away seats to ensure that her big day doesn't look like a ghost town. Meanwhile, Iowa fans are spending thousands of dollars to watch Caitlin Clark's numbers soar and her crash outs continue. And it's all about the fact that Caitlin Clark is now playing for Iowa. When she played for Iowa and her jersey was retired on the same day as A'ja Wilson's, you can see how things don't work out the other way around. For example, A'ja Wilson's retirement jersey comes on February 2. This isn't just about ticket prices, it's a tale of time tracking, fan loyalty, and perhaps a little bit of karma. Remember when AIA couldn't stop making fun of Clark? Well, now it appears that the basketball gods have a plan. She wears, obviously, 22 out. Sense of humor that led to these Tale of Two celebrations. Stay put because we're going to unravel this whole messy situation. Are you ready? Let's go on to A'ja Wilson, whose jersey is scheduled to be retired on Sunday. I know Don mentioned that there's a lengthy process, but if it were up to her, she probably would have had it retired immediately after graduating, and she already has a statue. Wild Wilson, on the other hand, hasn't had her jersey retired yet. I mean, how's that even possible? We're talking about one of the most decorated players in South Carolina history, and her number isn't hanging. Let's go back a little. Wilson was South Carolina's golden girl and the program's crown jewel. She led them to their first national title in 2017, BAS, essentially making their basketball program famous. You would think that they would have retired her jersey the moment she left the court for the last time. I believe that A'ja set a standard at South Carolina of giving 110% of who you are, not just 110% of who you are as a player, and I think that's a huge part of her legacy. However, it's been nearly 7 years since she graduated, and they're just now, over the course of these 7 years, LeBron James has switched teams twice. Tom Brady has retired and become unretired, and we have witnessed a generational sports phenomenon from Iowa play 4 years of collegiate basketball before being selected by Indiana. However, South Carolina was unable to find the time to hang up Wilson's jersey, and A'ja will now have her jersey up in the rafters. Additionally, Wilson already has a statue outside the arena, and it is frozen in bronze, but her jersey is still fair game. It's like erecting a shrine to someone and then forgetting to affixing their name to it. There is a reason why there is a nationally televised game. The statue was put up in January 2021. For more than 4 years, fans have been passing a giant Wilson and are likely wondering why her number is still in circulation. This delay is raising more eyebrows than a Draymond Green press conference. Did everyone forget about Wilson? Did her jersey get lost in the mail? Or is there more to the story? Oh, AJ had decided her first, yes, they announced A'ja Wilson's first Clark's jersey in the bleachers since preseason. The game between Iowa and USC on February 2nd has been planned since the day she announced she wouldn't be attending. The timing is intriguing, to say the least, as South Carolina decides to make their move just as Caitlin Clark fever is at its height. It seems like they suddenly remember, oh yeah, we had a pretty good player too, but rather than feeling like a celebration, it comes across as a desperate attempt to stay relevant in the conversation. I mean, she just left campus 20 minutes ago, and her jersey was retired before A'ja Wilson, who has won multiple. A'ja Wilson didn't win multiple college championships, which is just factually incorrect. Once more, it's as wrong as you mispronouncing the date and calling the WNBA and gold medals college. You're not going to let her stretch, warm up, and get loose first. And here's the really awkward part. South Carolina has this whole policy about jersey retirements, which is supposed to have a 5-year waiting period after a player's final college season. Wilson graduated in 2018, so I'm sure everyone knows that they're 2 years late to their own celebration. The truth is that my favorite part of this is that I believe everyone knows that on February 2nd, Caitlin Clark fans will be celebrating and A'ja Wilson fans will be yelling, "Look at me, look at A'ja Wilson." I honestly believe that she will say something about this, and I would be shocked if she didn't. Wilson's jersey retirement feels more like an afterthought than a reality. If you thought the delay was bad, wait until you hear about the ticket sales, or lack thereof. It's a comedy of errors that would be funny if it weren't so sad for Wilson. Some of these people that she seems to know personally are some of the ones that are crashing out about this. So I would be surprised if A.J. Wilson talks about the disrespect from the celebration and fans. It's like South Carolina found Wilson's jersey crumpled up in the back of a closet and thought, oh, we should probably do something with this. We're talking about a 3-time WNBA MVP, Olympic gold medalist, and South Carolina's golden girl, and you can get a seat to her big day for less than the price of a fancy burger. It's also A'ja Wilson's retirement jersey day, so her prices for her game are high. This is Iowa, which would again be completely unbrand for A.J. Wilson to do that, but there are people paying $1,000 to go and see Caitlin Clark's retirement jersey ceremony. Colonial Life Arena is starting at just $16 and isn't even sold out. If you're lucky, that amount usually gets you a hot dog and a small soda at a sporting event, but it's definitely not a seat to watch history. It's the kind of price that makes you wonder if there's a catch, but nope, that's the real price to see her jersey go up in the rafters. And guess what? As far as I can tell, Caitlin Clark's retirement in Iowa City isn't sold out. It's like trying to get front row seats to your... The retirement of Caitlin Clark's number 22 jersey at Carver Hawkeye Arena during Iowa's game against USC is looking to be a much bigger spectacle. But in Iowa City, people are spending hundreds of dollars for standing room only tickets, only to discover that they are long gone. Of course, this was a tweet that went out discussing $200 to $784 with a bunch of tickets listed over $1,000. The contrast is so stark that it's like comparing a busy Times Square to a quiet country road Colonial Life Arena, which has a capacity of 1 million people. On February 2, 2025, women's basketball will honor A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark in ways that will forever cement their legacies as fans argue over whose impact increased ticket sales, tell a story of their own, with Clark jersey retirement commanding prices more typical of marquee NBA games. We're well past that, folks, but why such a massive difference? Wilson graduated in 2018, nearly 7 years ago, and since then she's become one of the most accomplished players. Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena is bursting at the scams, and they're scurrying to find more seats to meet the insane demand. A'ja Wilson fans are furious that this is happening on the same day and asking why it took so long to honor one of the greatest players. One fan tweeted, "Why did SC take a whole decade to retire AG's number?" The university's silence is deafening. You would think that WNBA players would have been eager to hang her jersey in the rafters, but they waited and are now rushing to make this event happen, even giving away free tickets to avoid a ghost town on TV of A'ja Wills and blah, blah, what impact, stop it. This isn't just about bad planning. It's about how quickly things can change in the sports world. Wilson was once the favorite player in women's basketball, but she seems to have lost touch with her fans at some point. Perhaps it was jealousy of Caitlin Clark or some recent remarks that upset basketball fans. Whatever the reason, the passion is gone now, and that's the true tragedy. What do you think caused Wilson to fall from grace? Her name is A'ja Wilson, and her quote is, "It doesn't matter what we all do as black women, we're still going." To be ignored, which is why it enrages me when people claim it has nothing to do with race. As the Hawks wrapped up in April, Beth GS stated, "You will be the last to wear number 22, and you will become the third Hawkeye women's basketball player in history to have her number retired." However, times have changed since Caitlin Clark's ascent up to prominence in basketball upended the status quo. And the true story here is about how two universities handled their star players' legacies, and the difference is striking. They picked February 2nd, 2022 for number 22 against USC and Jugu Watkins on their only nationally televised weekend game. Up their second consecutive national runner-up season, Iowa announced Clark's jersey retirement just a week after her final game. Months before the official ceremony, her jersey was already hanging from the rafters, waiting to be unveiled. Iowa obviously understands the power of momentum and media attention. I believe February 2nd, 22 is 22 because it's 22 and everything about it aligns with South Carolina's approach to Wilson's jersey. Retirement couldn't be more different. Despite Wilson's outstanding accomplishments, their announcement felt like an afterthought, leaving fans wondering why it took so long. Then, in October 2024, South Carolina made the big announcement. They'd been waiting nearly 4 months for tickets to sell out, and they were still talking about being a draw. One of the reactions that were given was, "Oh, it's the same day as A'ja Wilson's," but I couldn't recall the date or anything else. When the Clark news broke, I didn't think, regarding A'ja Wilson, and as with Caitlin Clark, this will only serve to increase awareness of her retirement. The disparity in fan responses is striking. When Iowa announced Clark's retirement, social media went wild with people organizing trips to Iowa City and attempting to purchase tickets. However, Wilson's announcement was met with confusion, raising concerns about how colleges handle the legacies of their top athletes. Iowa is doing everything in its power to ensure that their star player receives the send-off she deserves. Wilson's jersey retirement should be a crowning moment, but it feels like a missed opportunity because of the secondary ticket market. This tells us something important about the state of women's basketball. It's not just about what you do on the court anymore. It's about how you connect with fans, navigate fame, and build your brand off the court. However, that is a supply and demand thing, especially in this day and age when there is no such thing as a sellout, and you can go to any event you want as long as you're willing to pay for it. Talking about more than just statistics and ceremonies, the A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark situation is teaching us how to win or lose fans' hearts. These two are so different, and we'll be able to compare the ratings because I would assume that the game against Auburn will be televised somewhere. Whether or not it's nationally televised, I'm not sure, but I think the Iowa game will end up being. Wilson and Clark are both fantastic players, but only one is currently packing arenas. The reason for this is that Clark connects with them as though they are a part of her journey. After her final college game, she was out there expressing her gratitude and pride in being a Hawkeye, for which I am extremely grateful. In addition, there have been many really good 22S who have come before me and played for this program, such as Kathleen Doyle and Sam Logic, so that number carries a lot of weight thus far.